Hello, 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 hello. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. It is Wednesday, February the 11th, 2026. And it is time for Unveiled Vibrations, where we're going to come together. We're going to have some conversations and have a little fun. So buckle up, hold on tight for tonight. Uh, we're going to be talking about Pam Bondi versus Congress, updates on Nancy Guthrie, and Super Bowl reactions, and more. So get ready for a good show. Let's do it. Hey, what's happening, y'all? And welcome to Unveiled Vibrations, where we come together and have the conversation. I am your host, TD McCollum. Quite often, we come up here on nights where we're talking about what's happening in the real world. Let's have the conversation of and be in touch with reality for a little bit. And other times, I am up here creating some music of some sort. Most recently, I participated in the Sha Jones Challenge. That was fun and quite enjoyable. And just recently, she came back by my YouTube channel and left me a little comment showing that she appreciated what I did. Uh, you can find that on my playlist uh, where we're talking about music and all. So tonight I'm a little laid back out here on the beach. Usually I'm in the den uh, or in the studio, but tonight I am laid out here chilling. And I want to acknowledge you guys for coming out and joining me this evening. Um, so, without any further ado, I would like to acknowledge present tonight, Dustin Butler, y'all. He says, "Hi, how you doing, brother? Welcome." We have JoJo Speaks in the house. He says, hi, Dustin. And hi, Tyrone. Hi to you, sir. He also says, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Do it. Hit the button. You won't regret it. I promise you. You won't. Because we're going to have a good time. And we're going to have some tough conversations, and we're going to have some light conversations. And then we're going to vibe out to some music sometimes, you know? And let's have some fun. That's what I'm talking about, man. Up in the chat, we got Kenneth Travia Brabham. Welcome to the Brabhams. I appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Man, oh man. So, I don't know if anybody has been under the rock, but oh my God, today there was a doozy up on Capitol Hill. Pam Bondi decided to take her hips up there and wanted to tell her side of the story, and was met with an onslaught of Q&As. And unfortunately, she bit off more than she could chew, and y'all, I began to laugh my head off at her and her responses to all these questions, and she had no answers for a lot of it. And a lot of it was met with more of attitude and talking points that she had been fed this whole time, and the things that they have been trying to throw at us. And I was just like, you know what, this is a hot mess, and there is no way, absolutely no way, y'all, that you can sit there and say that you're not present to the reality of all the stuff that they're trying to do. And it's just, give me a second. I'm gathering all my evidence to present to y'all, because it is absolutely hilarious. And also, what I'm going to be doing early tonight is dropping the link for you to come up here live and join me in the conversation. So if you check in the comments on YouTube, you will have the link to join me live, and we're going to have the conversation. But first, oh my God, let me show you this, because she was relentless today. And it makes me really think that they really believe in this narrative that they're painting. Like, you got to see this.
Yeah, I did tell you, because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
In contrast to these politically motivated investigations, grasping at something they can charge their enemies with, we now have concrete evidence of disgusting criminality revealed in the Epstein files. So I really have just one question for you. How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're going to answer
theatrics
the
are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people, but I'm going to answer the question.
How many have you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
the time belongs.
I think it's very interesting.
Reclaiming my time.
I think it's very
Reclaiming my
interesting.
time.
And you can
When
reclaim
he
your
talks
time.
about they
Reclaiming my time,
indicted,
Mr.
the
Chairman.
president said they indicted him twice.
Mr. Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and stop the
he
clock and
indicted-
restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentleman from New York.
Please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when
Reclaiming
you ask
my-
a question, the
The
witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
Re-
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming-
So he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I am
Mr. Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
Reclaiming my time.
answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch.
Reclaiming-
Not on our time. No way.
Reclaiming-
And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you
You
started.
don't tell me.
Yeah, I
anything,
did tell you because we
washed
saw
up
what you did in the
You're a
Senate.
lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time, and I should get back at least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I
Not a
said that
few more,
already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr. Nadler. Go
All right.
Boy, man, I have never seen such back and forth and amount of anger that these guys are going at each other's throats like you would not believe. And it's just that's just one. Here's another one that happened today.
Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
And look how bad.
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that.
Can
This
I
is where he's listed as a
Can I
co-conspirator.
finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming
He was
reclaiming
listed
my
as-
time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
He
It's-
was,
Mr.
this
Chairman,
isn't how this works.
can I have my time
He
back?
was,
Mr. Chairman,
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from.
all right, I'm reclaiming my
Can I give
time.
my answer?
So
Yes.
I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman,
because I
may I
have
give my
another
answer
question.
on that?
If-
Here's-
It's a political
the question.
joke, and I need to give my answer
Yeah,
on that.
we'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next
Chairman, it's
question.
my time.
Within 40
Chairman.
minutes, you asked me a question.
You can
Within
give me-
40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes
You
of
have-
me catching you red-handed.
Red hand, there was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a
4,700,
co-conspirator.
Okay.
and we
You know
invited
what?
you
Show the
in.
video.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to. You're a failed politician.
Gentlemen,
You need to
time
get
belongs
on
to the
these
matter.
matters.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
I have several questions.
Yikes. Like the level of crash out that we're seeing on this, I've never seen such a thing out of any attorney general. Like you're supposed to be the top lawyer of this nation, and it just looks bad on you and this administration. Like
name appears less than 100 times in the files. We now know that's not true. Trump's name appears more times in the Epstein files than God's name appears in the book about God. Okay, by the way, this is the Trump Bible. Move over, King James. Now, Madam Attorney General, I have like 25 seconds left. So because I'm curious, and I'd like to see you flip to the Jared Moskowitz section of the binder. I'm interested to see what staff provided on the oppo on me. And because we're in the Olympics, I'm going to give it a grade. I just want to see how good it is. So give me your best one.
So first of all, nothing is funny about mocking the Bible and holding up a Trump
not
Bible.
mocking
That's
the
what you
Bible.
did.
That's the
You
best-
made a
that's the-
joke, and I find
No,
offense
I want
to
it.
that. That's all I have to say.
I want
to
it
you.
from the burn book.
Shame.
I want it from the burn book, which is the best one. What you got?
Has expired. The gentleman from Wisconsin is recognized
Kash Patel under oath said Trump's name appears less than 100 times in the.
And you know what's funny about that? When them bringing up Kash Patel, as he claims that I never said this, or you can quote from the find the record and quote me and all that. It's telling of this administration that when their feet are held to the fire, they double back and try to lie even more than the first time that they lied. Right here, for example.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic.
You didn't? Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Yeah, I think we might have to run the tape on this one. Run the tape, please.
No credible information that he trafficked to other individuals. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
Yeah, the thing is now multiple officials from both sides of the political aisle have been able to see some of the unredacted files, and they seem to quite largely agree that actually the files do contain incriminating evidence that directly implicates powerful and influential people that have been redacted in a way that protects the interest of those powerful and influential people, which is illegal, and also would make this perjury, which is illegal. You know, when you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, and then you tell something but the truth, that's perjury. That's a crime. And now
and oh my gosh, accountability is something that this administration lacks. We saw it a couple weeks ago when ICE unalived 2 people within a week or 2 weeks of each other. And they're like, oh, well, it's not that bad. Dodge and deflect is something that they're consistent of. Telling the truth, they're not telling us the truth. And it's unfortunate. And then they're having to backpedal on a lot of things. Even like recently with Donald Trump posting this post of the Obamas and having them superimposed on some very distastefully on some apes and monkeys. And it's just like, why do you have to do that? And then you're doing this of all times in Black History Month. And then when people call you out for being a horrible person, number one, and then disgracing the role of the presidency, you're like, well, it wasn't that bad. Really? All of you say that, including JD Vance?
It was one of those things where either because the time zone changed or because we were so busy, the controversy had started and then died out by the time I even paid attention to it. You know, the president said a staffer posted a video. He hadn't even watched the whole thing. When he watched the whole thing, he took it down. It's not a real controversy. We have much more real problems to focus on.
Should he apologize for that, sir?
Should he apologize for posting a video and then taking it down? No, I don't think so. I think people post things on social media. And if you post something you don't like it, you can just take it down. And that's what he did.
Just take it down and not apologize for the damage that it caused to whoever it targeted. No accountability. The main reason why it was taken down was because it disrupted and upset the Republican base. We're not talking about MAGA base. We're talking about Republicans only. And the whole reason why they kind of backpedal on things with the 2 people that ICE unalive recently was because the NRA got in and was like, hey, no, this is wrong. And it's like, wait. It affected your pockets. And that's when you decided, I've gone too far. it's just absolutely disgusting to see this, because unfortunately we're in an environment where they consistently believe that they can do whatever they want and get away with it. And I say this to the American people: keep holding their feet to the fire. Call them out, because this is the only way that they will change, even the slightest, just the slightest, the smallest bit is a win for the American people, because it makes them acknowledge the reality of things. And it's so unfortunate. I got started a little too quick tonight. I had to light the flame. Candle is lit. Let's go even further, y'all. Check it out what you guys said. JoJo Speak says, I've always hated these types of hearings. Questions are never answered directly. Absolutely. They're never answered because they know that they're on the record, and it will come back to haunt them, just like it is going to do for Cash Patel. He's out there saying months ago, oh, no, there was no evidence of the president, and there isn't no evidence of this happening. And then we get the evidence, and it's like in our face, and you're like, well, I never said that. That's not what I said. He's like, whoa, roll the beautiful bean footage back right quick. And then, bam, you're like, well, that's not what I meant. I mean, what do you mean by that? Like, how do you just up and try to reprint history? And that's a problem. And for a lot of the enthusiasts that are behind this administration that make the excuses, oh, well, he just made a mistake. He misspoke. You're diminishing and allowing them to get away with things. And the unfortunate thing is, as they continue to get away with things, they get bolder with the next thing, thinking that they could just escape that as well. Hey, y'all, welcome. Miss Kim is in the house tonight. Hello, my dear. Thank you for joining us. JoJo says, hey, Miss Kim, and Miss Kim says this. The way Pam Bondi was under oath, playing in the Oversight Committee faces, the karma coming for her is going to be ugly. I'm talking about generational karma. You know, this is one of the curses of the information age and digital age, that things that you now say now are forever documented and can be recalled as long as, and I have to say this because, you know, they have a knack for trying to scrub the internet of things and try to get rid of things so we would forget. But it's kind of hard to forget because the impact of what is said and done lasts generations. You know what I'm saying? Ms. Kim also says, I just saw an email from a doctor who was friends with Epstein. She informed Epstein that her daughter, who was 15 at the time, would be coming with her friend. Y'all, let me tell you something. This thing with Pam Bondi up in Congress today, it got so bad they had the victims in the hearing, in the gallery behind her. And they asked her to apologize to them for their names being leaked in the Epstein file release when they were supposed to be redacted. Like, details and personal information about these people were leaked. They weren't redacted, but they redacted Donald Trump's information and other Republicans' information from the Epstein files. And while trying to hold her accountable for that, she was just like, I'm not even going to look over there. You guys are trying to make it into a circus and try to blame them for bringing this information to the light. And to know that there was a couple people that were in their teens in that gallery from when their interactions with Epstein happened to have your voice diminish, and to know that, you know, when they reached out to them to tell their story and Pam Bondi and crew did not acknowledge them, didn't have a conversation with them, but told the American people that they had a conversation with them. You begin to see how bad this was and the backpedaling of the Epstein files release. Like, now they're in damage control, trying to soften the blow of all of this because they don't want to lose power. It's absolutely sad. Absolutely sad. And all I can say is this. To hear it from these senators, though, their takes on how their interaction was with Pam Bondi today was eye-opening to me, and I hope that it may be a little bit. I'm gonna share some of these with you.
Pam Bondi and her testimony so far in the hearing.
Pam Bondi lied under oath. She said there was no evidence of wrongdoing in the Epstein files of Donald Trump. That's just a lie. There's multiple documents that show wrongdoing of Donald Trump. I showed her one. A witness had called in the FBI's National Threat Operations Center and reported evidence of a crime committed by Donald Trump, and no one at the Department of Justice interviewed that witness. That's just one example of Pam Bondi lying under oath. And the fact remains that as of today, there are over 1,000 acknowledged victims of Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking operation. Pam Bondi has not held a single man accountable. That is ludicrous, shameful, and if she had any decency, she should resign.
And what kind of accountability could Pam Bondi face for lying under oath?
First of all, she should prosecute the people that abuse and rape these women. And then, I believe she lied on her oath. It's all captured on videotape. I encourage you to watch it. Look at what she said, and then look at the actual documents and Epstein files. There are direct allegations of wrongdoing by Donald Trump. So she just flat out lied on her oath.
I mean, it's bad. It's bad, y'all.
General Pam Bondi in front of the House Judiciary Committee, and I was the first one to question her. And I asked her to actually turn to the survivors who were standing right behind her and to apologize to them for all the mistakes that her Department of Justice made in not redacting the personal information of these survivors, of putting it out there for the whole world, and the trauma and the re-traumatization that they felt because of that. And it was her response that honestly I couldn't believe, because instead of turning to them and apologizing, what she did is say something along the lines of, "I'm not going to get in the gutter with you." How is an apology to survivors getting in the gutter? Why is that not just both a human response that you would want to give to apologize to them for the mistakes that you made, intentional or not intentional? And also, she's the head of the Department of Justice, the department that was responsible for this. But she refused to take any accountability. She refused to even acknowledge them. And several of them said to me after the hearing that that was also something that stuck with them, that she refused to even acknowledge them. And one of them was in tears and said, it really hurt because it is what has happened to them over and over again. They've been dismissed. They've been unacknowledged. They've been able to get no justice, no ability to actually feel any closure around this. All she did is show who she is, show the small, cool person that she is. I had hoped for something very different. I had hoped that maybe she would turn and apologize. That would have been very powerful, but she didn't, and she won't.
It's really bad out here. And then she went as far as to say to one of the senators that she was anti-Semitic.
Got pretty spicy in there.
They got a little spicy.
Can you tell us what happened?
So a couple things. One, the Attorney General did not come to answer questions. What she came to do was just hurl insults at all of us. And she went so far in accusing me of anti-Semitism when my own grandfather was killed in a concentration camp. That's how low she sunk.
With this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Oh,
is
Jewish. I just want to be clear.
Do you want to go there, Attorney General? Or do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust? Really?
The committee will be in order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
Everybody saw what she's about. She is about not ever admitting that she's wrong or a mistake. She's training at the knee of Donald Trump, and it was actually really embarrassing what happened in there.
Man, when I tell you how bad it is out here in these streets and how disingenuous that these administration is showing up to people, it really opens your eye a bit. And all I can say, Pam Bondi, there's a special place just for you. You gonna get what you deserve from this, either while you're still in office or when you get out of office, because you just got exposed. And this will probably be the first official time that I say this year on this platform, that this year is a year of exposing those secrets and exposing people for who they really are. And we just have to ultimately believe her as who she really is. She's in it for the money. She's in it for the momentarily amount of fame, and she's in it. And I honestly believe she's over her head. You know, she's too deep in all of this. And there ain't no saving her. Unless you do like Marjorie Taylor Greene did and just bail out. That's all you can do. Miss Kip says, when someone hollers, do you want to go there? You should stop talking because you will catch some hands. Trust me, that representative right there wanted to go there with her. Because I feel like she did it on purpose as the knife and twisting it, knowing how it would affect her, knowing her background and history and her family's history. And it's sad like that you have no other tools in your arsenal but to go low. And then you're like, well, I'm not going to stoop low but you go lower. And it's just so sad. I mean, it is absolutely sad. I ultimately kind of wish her the best. Whatever, girl. Pam Bondi, you gonna get your next case, boss. Recently, we have had in the news beloved anchor Savannah Guthrie and her mom about a week, going on 2 weeks ago, went missing. The latest news out was they had found and picked up a person of interest. And in addition to that, they had released some video footage of the person that allegedly took Savannah's mother while they were tampering with the door camera and everything at about approximately 2 a.m. a couple Saturdays ago. And it's just, to speak more on this situation, I want to bring up a great friend that had brought this to my attention, and I've been keeping track of this entire time. Mr. Dustin Butler.
Hi, Tyrone. Hi, everybody.
Hey, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm hanging in there. As you know, this has been a hard case to cover. Especially a hard case to cover for me because I have watched Savannah my whole entire time. You know, my whole entire life, most of my life. So I feel like I kind of know her to a certain degree. I know her, you know, and it's sad to see somebody that, you know, go through something like this. But as like I always say, we're gonna get through it as we always do. And like I said, Tyrone and my whole entire team will keep everything up to date. But yes, Tyrone said we had some videos Tyrone talking about earlier. But it's been very hard to cover this. But here I am again this week. But it's as like I said last week, and I could always continue to say, keep them in your prayer.
Absolutely. Prayer is how we're going to get through this. And those that are unaware of the situation, the family was with her on the very day that she went missing. They spent time with her for the day and took her back home. And after she got home, she was there, and then she was no longer there. And what alerted people to her not being there was the fact that she missed church service the next day. It had came out that they were doing a virtual service, and she was gathering with friends in the area at their house, and she didn't show. And so people, out of concern, reached out to the family and were like, "Hey, how's your mom? What's going on?" And they're like, "What do you mean? We were just with her. She got home. That's the last time we heard of it." They go over there and find that the house had been broken into, allegedly. They did notice that there were bloodstains outside of the front door. Since then, they have been on a very intense search for her because she does have a heart condition, and unfortunately, her pacemaker lost connection with her phone that very same night. And so without her having that, the search began to get even more heightened because they're like, hey, she needs to take her medication. She needs to be checked on and cared for because of her heart condition. There had been some ransom notes that had been passed around to local news stations as well as TMZ.
Yes.
And
I said,
recently, today, they received one.
Oh, they received another one?
Yeah.
Okay, I seen that one. I seen the video you posted in the Discord. Thank you for that.
And, to keep up with the conversations that we're having off video, join the Discord, man. Discord is absolutely free for you to join. It's linked in the comments. We're going to build a community there where we can have the conversations about multiple topics. It is an open forum for everyone.
Yes, everybody join. Everybody that's welcome that's on here can join the Discord. But it's an open book, kind of like so. I just hope that, like I said last week, I hope that we find her soon, and I hope that hope we find her alive, because as it goes along, I wonder if they're going to be looking for Tyrone. I'm not going to say the word on here, but you know what I mean.
And
I hope hope it's not like that, but I'm preparing myself for the worst.
That is our hopes, because the latter part of last week, it was kind of nuanced that something had happened,
right?
But it wasn't made clear because the people that sent the initial ransom note went radio silent and no longer spoke. Even past the two deadlines, they stopped talking. So
and that's a red flag to me, because it's a red flag to me, because if you want that much, if you wanted that much stuff, why would you say that and stop talking? That's a total red flag to me.
And some of the red flags in that was that they found out that there was a person that actually tried to capitalize off this moment, and tried to, I guess you would say, blackmail the family into paying them.
Correct.
And they were not even affiliated with this whole entire situation. They seized the opportunity is what they were trying to do. And, the local authorities and FBI are being very careful about how information is taken in and how credible they are with this information, because like recently, them apprehending someone of interest, it turns out that they weren't even a credible person of interest. Like they had to release them, and unfortunately they ended up being a person of color, and it just starts to make you wonder if there is a agenda to try to push with that. Like Miss Kim said, how convenient the person of interest was a brown man. And, you know, the guy had to say on camera, hey, I had nothing to do with this. I hope y'all find him so y'all can clear my name, because I had nothing to do with this. I don't even know the lady. Talking about Savannah, she
didn't even know. She didn't even know the lady. She didn't even know who she was. But I like to know who actually did it, because it's like I said, as time goes along, I get more questions. Time I really do.
Absolutely, and
I get more questions. I get more questions as it goes along.
I kind of hear the questions that are being thrown out there too. Like, you know, on social media, everybody is kind of spinning the narrative saying, oh, it's somebody in the family that did this, or it's a person that worked for the family that did this. And like, this is one of the things that when you first brought this to my attention, that I was afraid of, that the media would just pick something and run with it and have to backtrack that story because it was total false information. And now you have the online community doing it for you. And it's just so dangerous because, you know, the finger pointing happens so quick, and people begin to get trigger happy with that information, and then you find people endangered by that. And I'm hoping that they would double down on doing their due diligence, because, you know, I hadn't said anything to anybody about this, but how I felt about it, my spirit was saying that she was still alive and being held. And what's so funny about it is, like, I had this vision of them going north towards Phoenix, Arizona, from Tucson, Arizona, but then came back south and went past Tucson. And then, you know, today I up and see this video and they're like, yeah, we're south of Tucson and we found this guy. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Oh my God.
Yes.
Y'all are on the right track. I feel it.
Yes.
But man, don't go just picking up anybody. You know, and then, Lord forbid, it's a person of color that you're going after. It's just like, yo, hey.
Yeah.
I know the climate that we're in right now. Don't take it there. And it's like, okay, I see you guys are doing that. You're taking it there. Please take a step back. Is where I'm at.
But then I also wonder, is this family, were they targeted, you know? Because I think that sometimes I think Savannah, I'm not saying I feel bad for Savannah, I do, and I will continue to say the same thing. But I think that sometimes when Savannah is on NBC, I think that her family, herself and her family is a target for something like this. But I hope not. But you never know.
You
And we
know,
never.
it won't be the first time that anchor had been a target for political reasons. It
Right.
won't be the first, and it certainly won't be the last. I just feel like whoever is responsible for this at this time
Mhm.
is a person that knows this family, like really knows them,
Mhm.
and know what their creature habit patterns are. You know, they kind of
Mm.
knew that the family would be in a certain place at a certain time. And it's just looking at the evidence is real eerie.
Yeah.
And
It's very.
it's a little scary.
It's
That
very. It's very. It's very eye opening to me. This whole entire situation has been very eye opening.
Mhm.
Because you never know. You gotta be careful what you do and what you put out there, because you don't know what other people think. But everybody else has different opinions. But it's very eye opening to see somebody like Savannah go through her family go through this. But it can be any. It could be any one of us, Tyler. It could be any. It could be you, me, nobody. It could be somebody else like that. But you just gotta be careful. Gotta be really careful because you never know. hmm
absolutely. And our prayers are still with them.
Another thing I like to put out there is it's been a couple, like a month ago or so, I
Mhm.
was talking about the Ashley benefit being let go.
Yeah.
Interesting. See how this happened right after
Right
I
after.
get done talking about it.
Mhm.
So as somebody that was connected to that, connected to her, interesting. That's a question I have.
It 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 surely is a rabbit hole to dive down. And then you start to collect the breadcrumbs. Um, I I'm real cautious about it because what are we really finding at the end? Is it a real pot of gold or is it a pile of sugar honey iced tea? You know? And it's just like, well, how far are we gonna go with trying to connect the dots? Cause like, when it came to Charlie Kirk's situation now, like there's so many layers of the onion that's being peeled back, and we're starting to really discover some um, very sad facts. And it's hard for you to say that it's a fact because it doesn't seem real. And it's just like, hey man, what do you do with that? I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Uh, People are going to believe what they want to believe, and it's okay for you to believe that. But for me, I try to tell people, let's look at the reality. Let's not get caught up in the fantasy, and then we wind up in a situation where you kind of begin to look a certain type of way. That's how I'll say it and frame it like that. Um, I will be keeping my eye close on this situation as it continues to develop and pray for the best and the safe return of Nancy to her family. Thank you for coming up here, Dustin. I appreciate you. You're welcome to stay up here if you like.
I appreciate it.
Next topic I got coming up is the Super Bowl. And for this, I have a great friend of mine that I'm bringing in. He's a big football head and sports fanatic. I've known him for about 20 years now, more. And I think you guys are going to love his take on things. I welcome to the show, Mr. Kenneth Brethren. Kenny B for short. Welcome.
How you doing? How's it going? Can you hear me okay?
I can, brother.
How is everything, man?
I'm doing good, man. You know, I appreciate you coming through, and we're going to have this conversation about this game this past weekend. We had the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. We had the stellar performance by Bad Bunny. You know, Bad Bunny he had some people mad and upset and crying and celebrating. So
I don't know why, but yeah.
I'm gonna get started on this game, man.
Right. Yeah, we'll come back to that.
You know, starting off with this Seahawks game, man. I tell a lot of people what I said from last week. My prediction was that this game was going to be quite cold in the beginning because the two teams' defenses were very strong defenses. And, you know, at some point I felt like the Seahawks would eventually start to pull away. I felt like because of what I saw highlights wise right before the Super Bowl that it was going to be a hard game for the Patriots offensive wise. Now, if there was some injuries to come into play somewhere in the middle of that could swing the game in either way. And I was like, second half, you kind of probably could see them kind of pick up steam and go back and forth a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's going to be down to who defense can hold down the fort. And Lord have mercy. I looked at this game and it did not stray away from my prediction. Man, Kenny, tell me what was your thoughts about the game, leading up to the game and watching the game?
First off, I will say you everything you just said, you did tell me when we had a private conversation. So I can vouch for the fact that you did say this before the game. It wasn't the most interesting, entertaining Super Bowl. It did go kind of how I went to. I did agree that Seattle was probably going to pull away at some point. And there would be a defensive battle early on, maybe in the first quarter or so. My take was a little different, though. The reason I said it was going to be that way, and I think I did kind of touch on this with you at one point during our conversation over the weekend as well. No disrespect to the Patriots. Congratulations, you made it there. Do I sound muffled at all? I feel like
just a little bit.
Yeah, I figure I don't have my normal setup here. My mic's out of commission at the moment. We got to get that set back up. But when it came, again, congrats to the Patriots. They made it there, but their road there, in comparison to Seattle, was far different. For example, well, to me, I'll say this: Seattle was the more battle-tested team to me. Aside from that first game when they played San Francisco in the playoffs and they kind of steamrolled the injury-depleted San Francisco 49ers team, they had more. They faced a little more adversity from their opponents than the Patriots did. What I mean by that is everyone the Patriots played, and it's no fault of the Patriots. I'm not knocking them or judging them at all. But the fact that everybody that they played was injured, so they didn't get everything like the and then with that, them playing all these teams that were kind of injured, depleted. You look at the scores of the game, it still was not that far. Like it wasn't like 15-13 or 15-12, something like that. It's still pretty close, and it's still just defensive battles. So that coupled with the fact that I remember we spoke about Drake May winning this quarterback and injury issue. And all week leading up to the Super Bowl, you had heard about him having this possible injury designation with, I think, his shoulder or something like that.
Right.
And like maybe a day or two before the game, they said he's good, he's full go. It's a Super Bowl. We expected him to play either way, but yeah, I didn't think he was and he wasn't. Truth be told, it wasn't his fault they lost that game. Seattle's defense was.
A monster.
Yeah.
They were relentless.
He couldn't get much done. Seattle's defense.
I've never seen a Super Bowl team get dismantled the way the Patriots did on offense. Now they had some moments where they were like, they got some life.
When Seattle played the Broncos, I think it was some years back.
Oh.
And they just kind of from the first quarter, it was like this big hit. Cam Tesson just laid out one guy and then just steamrolled everybody from that point on.
Yeah, I do remember that.
This wasn't that bad, but it was pretty. Yeah.
And I look like I said it to you over the weekend before the game. I said, look, it looks like, Seattle was built for this. I don't know if the Patriots is built as a championship team. Not this iteration of them. Because it showed on offense with that offensive line and how they would break down. And I was looking at ESPN a couple of days before the game, and they were breaking down the film and they were showing where Seattle would potentially attack to get to Patriots quarterback May. And like the first quarter, that's all I kept seeing them do is getting in those gaps. And it was like, they just running a 4-man rush, man. What?
I mean, look. End of the day, the old adage is defense wins championships.
At the end of the day, you're right, man.
Yeah. I mean, the first half was just field goals.
Field goals. And I was chuckling about that too. I was
like, we saw the momentum, even with the field goals. You can tell, this game getting. It's clear who has upper hand right now. So,
it started getting ugly, man. It got real ugly. And I still had to laugh at that, now Seattle holds the record for the kicker with the most
field goals and they keep some odd stats,
I said, this is some odd stats coming out of the Super Bowl, man. And
what's interesting. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's for me. I'm like it was great to see Seattle win because I kind of still feel like they got robbed the last time they played the Patriots.
I wouldn't say robbed. That was a horrible call by the coach.
It was.
That was the coach's fault.
It was.
First and foremost to me.
So I'm like, hey. Redemption, man. Redemption.
Yeah, and to kind of go back on something you said a moment ago, you say you don't think the Patriots are good as a championship team. So again, I give them all credit the fact that they made it to the Super Bowl. No matter how they got there, they got there. So that is all credit to them first and foremost. But there's a narrative that's going around right now. I've seen it in more than one place where they kind of speaking on the road that the Patriots took, not only in the playoffs but in the regular season. Someone pointed out to me that most of the teams that they beat, the coaches got fired. The head coaches got fired this year.
Yo, speaking of coaches getting fired,
So, yeah.
I never seen so many coaches get fired back to back to back in one season.
9 or 10? I think it was 10.
I was like, yo, what is going on?
It was crazy.
Like, it started with Baltimore, I feel, and everybody was just like, well, Baltimore let him go. Shoot, let's let everybody go.
Big fish to fall. That's the first big job that opened up. One of those ones that wasn't really expected. Because a few guys got fired during the season. And I'm not gonna say anybody deserves to lose their job, but when you kind of watch the teams, it was like, yeah, you can kind of see those. That
the writings on the wall on that.
Yeah. That was the Titans and the Giants that fired their coaches during the season. When Baltimore fired or let go of
John Harbaugh.
That was unexpected. You said you saw it coming.
As a Baltimore fan, I was like, hey, when they took that loss to the Buffalo Bills early in the season, at the beginning of the season, and went like on a losing streak for like, I think about 4 or 5 games back to back, it got real scary in Baltimore.
Yeah. I mean, so you all had an injury bug that was pretty vicious that ran through you all team this year. So the record I kind of understood, but as people started to come back, you see the team get their footing, and you could tell. If they were healthy, it might have been a different story.
Yeah. And Miss Kim said people didn't even people weren't really excited about the game. She knows some diehard fans, and they were like, yeah, whatever. I believe it too, because like people, when they go and look at the Super Bowl, they want to see a slugfest. And when it's anything but that, people are like, yeah, I'm going to go find me some snacks. I'm going to go find me a drink. Call me when halftime is.
You want to see teams scoring. That's really what it is. And the defensive game is just like.
And, Jay stopped right here and, hey, welcome to the show tonight. She said, it seems like it's scripted. I imagine it makes people lose interest. Hey, look, people have been speculating that for like the last 5 years. The NFL is scripted all the way from game 1 to the Super Bowl winner at I don't know. Something was wrong with this one.
Yeah.
Dustin, what was your thoughts on things?
My thoughts are this. As we're talking about the sports, I'm going to talk about the Buffalo Bills firing their head coach. I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl, but I want to talk about the head coach firing. Now, I think that the Buffalo Bills needed a new head coach in the first place. But I think that we're gonna see. I think we're gonna hopefully our team will make it to the Super Bowl next year. My team will make it to the Super Bowl. I support the Buffalo Bills through and through, and I want to see them make it to Super Bowl 61. And I think they're going to. I really do. But I hope that the new, hoping that the new thing will, hoping that the new coach will do a good job, because I don't think the coach we had did a very good job in the first place. But yeah, we're gonna see some improvement next year. I hope we make it to Super Bowl 61.
Hey,
So
definitely.
what's interesting is the guy that they hired, that Buffalo hired, was already on staff there at one point.
I can't
Who's the
hardly hear you.
offensive coordinator?
I can't hardly hear. Can't hardly hear. But can't hardly
Let me
hear it.
let me see if I can take care of that problem for you in one moment.
JoJo Speak says, Tyrone, you meant to say former cheating Patriots. I mean, you know, we know about the whole Deflategate and everything, the whole Spygate, everything with the Patriots. You know, I completely understand what you mean, man. And man, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's the Patriots, man. Hey, Aaron is in the house, y'all.
Hey,
How you doing? Welcome.
Welcome on in.
Glad to see you here, Aaron. Miss Kip says, I'm a commercial and halftime show Super Bowl watcher. I still thought the Bears were in the running.
All right.
Look, the Bears were doing their thing this season, and they got in the playoffs. Now, when it came to them facing up against these Green Bay Packers, man, that was a game.
Yeah.
You guys caught that game, right?
Yeah, I watched the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Bears should have been. I think the Bears should have won that game. To be honest, I was rooting for the Bears. You know, well, they didn't make it there, but I wish they would have. Mm-hmm.
You know, like it was an entertaining game. That's all I can say, because you know the week before they looked way better the week before, and you know they winning that last home game.
Right.
You know that meant a lot for the Chicago fans, and you know I think the Bears still have something there with they got a young quarterback. They got talent that they could build up around on both sides, offense and defense.
I think the Buffalo Bills has got the best quarterback in the NFL. One of the best quarterback in the NFL. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me a little better now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, we got you now. Buffalo Bills quarterback.
Josh
It's
Allen.
good. He's good. He's good, man. I'm gonna give y'all that. He's good. Is he the best?
One of them, yeah, I would say one.
I would say one of the best.
Yeah.
Not the best.
I didn't say the best. I said one of the best. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
You can make that argument for,
you know,
5 or 6 guys. You can kind of.
And I'll fix my mistake. Mm-hmm. I'll fix my mistake.
You know, like there are some good quarterbacks from this season. Like they were doing some phenomenal things this season. It has me hopeful for next season, and that it will be a lot more competitive across the league because of the talent level increasing, you know?
Yeah.
Now with
But
all the coaching shifts,
yes,
I'm
coaching
starting to
shift.
really question how even that will be though.
That's what I was
Right.
going to get into a moment ago. I was going to say Buffalo firing that coach was a big surprise. But what's interesting is the fact that the guy that they hired was already there. They had the guy from the previous coach's staff, which is how that works out. We'll see. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it was Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator, ended up being the getting the head coach spot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I definitely think he will do good. Um, the bigger question is who will he surround himself with? Like what I've been looking at and kind of honing in on in Baltimore, how they've pretty much cleaned house with coaching staff and just bringing in all new blood. I've been looking at who they've been bringing in and what kind of, you know, history that they had, you know, and I'm a little optimistic. You know, we got
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
because, like, you know, to find out the coach of the Seattle Seahawks was once on our staff, and we let him go because he was just an intern. I said, hey, man.
He
was a assistant defensive coach at one time, but the way
he
that
was
they were
defensive
painting the
coordinator
narrative,
2 years ago.
that too.
He was the guy on defense, and they hired him off of your staff, which I would say is a compliment to the fact that you had that type of guy on your staff. You know, Harbaugh was able to get that kind of guy in there.
Why you didn't keep him? Because when I think about the defense from 2022 to 2024, which was under his helm, it painted a picture. I was like, yo, that was a pretty decent and strong defensive squads that we had back then.
At the time. Yeah, I think it
At
was.
the time. And it's
Yeah, at
like,
the time.
so why couldn't they hold that on coming
So-
into this year?
I'm sure their plan was to keep him, but consider this: we're all professionals here in some capacity or another. If a position opens up that offers you more money, and you're like the guy in that position,
Hey. And I'm pretty sure John was like, yeah, man, you got to take this.
yeah, I mean, you want to keep being my assistant, one of my assistant coaches, or you want to go be the guy and see how to help your own team? You know, I guess he chose the latter. You know what I mean? So you can't really fault the guy.
Look, I would have loved to be the fly on the wall in that conversation and to look back at things now and be like, man, I made the greatest decision ever. Oh, in your first year or second year as a head coach, man, I said, wow, to go and win a Super Bowl.
With a first, that's your first, that quarterback's first year being there.
First year quarterback too, man. And I'm like, yo.
Speaking of he was with the Vikings last year, had the same record, like 14-3, and you know he got roughed up in the playoffs a little bit last year, so I guess they decided they wanted to move on from him. Well,
yeah. But I mean, look at what happened with the Vikings this year. Like they tried to do something, but
so the young guy that they replaced Sam Darnold with,
Mm-hmm.
He would. I never want to disrespect the player because they made it to that position. He hadn't found his lane yet. I'll say it that way.
I have to say, like, within the last 3 seasons of football, I had been questioning what was going on with quarterback development, especially with the rookies.
It's non-existent now.
And I didn't see it. And that was like one of the things that I had been concerned
It's
about.
non-existent now because there's a few outliers that kind of made it rough for everybody else. You know, when you get guys that come out and have the year like what Jaden Daniels had or what CJ Stroud had.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go even further back, when who else had a good first year? Cam Newton statistically had a good first year. I think Andrew Luck had a good first. Just guys like that, outliers. That
Andrew Luck had a good,
and RG3.
RG3
they have a great first year. And you
year.
want that immediate production from a guy that just got out of college,
right?
Just playing against some of the guys he played against were teenagers. You know what I mean? And now you got him going out there against grown men, going from class to now this is your full-time job, and against grown men and leading a team of grown men, it's hard for a lot of guys to come in and just take that and run with it their first year. You know what I mean? But the expectation has become that because of those guys that have had those great first years, which is unfair to everybody else. You know what I mean? Because it all depends on your situation when you come out and get drafted. To me,
looking at first year quarterback situations, I have to bring up Shedeur Sanders in the situation that he walked into.
That was
been absolutely upon and manipulated the whole season. And it's just like to see him in the Pro Bowl this year in the flag football game, smiling and enjoying the game that he loves. It definitely gives me hope for him, but it also raised that concern like, what type of development will he receive in year 2, especially now that you have to have a brand new coach?
I mean, maybe it's a coach that will give him a fair opportunity. That was the knock that most people had on Kevin Stefanski when it came how he handled the Shedeur Sanders situation. When you get into the game, what was it? The latter part of the season, the back half of the season, you finally get to a game.
Like week 8 or 9 or something.
Going to the guys that you're playing with was on the field that day in a game, not in practice.
Right.
Your first time behind that offensive line was on the field in a game, not in practice. That's unfair to him. The coach should have.
They should have gave him some
the
reps.
situation in Cleveland was rough. I mean,
but
they had 5 quarterbacks on the roster.
The last time I've seen 5 quarterbacks on a roster was like Madden years, late 90s, early 2000s.
No, I'm talking Madden football, EA Sports Madden. You know what I mean? The video game.
Yeah. Well, no, like them early 2000s. Like I want to say like the New York Jets had like at least 4 quarterbacks on their roster at one point in the early 2000s. It was like, man, why do you need so many quarterbacks? And then when you see them from week to week, like this quarterback got injured, the backup got injured, the backup of the backup got injured. Then they had to pull somebody out of retirement to finish the season.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, like, is it
Yeah,
that bad?
one
Like,
guy that they paid $200 some odd million. He tore his he ruptured his Achilles twice.
yeah,
So he was out of it from the jump. He wasn't gonna play this season. Joe Flacco was there.
yeah. Now,
The GM got the bright idea to trade him within the division to another team in the middle of the season.
that part right there had me like, yo, how insane is that? And then, he actually played a couple of decent games for them over there in Cincinnati, and then
The guy
fell flat.
came back and played you with a better roster around him.
I was like, man, to see Flacco go up against Shador that game, I was just like, yo, how y'all do this to this man? Both of them. How do y'all do that?
And then all the other, who was it? Kenny Pickett, who right now looks like he's going to be a journeyman the way his career is shaping out to be. It could go differently. It could change. It's not too late. But right now, that's what it looks like. And Dylan Gabriel, who got drafted a round or two ahead of Shador.
Yeah. Who knows?
Small guy, relatively small, I should say.
Like, I'm sad to see football over with.
Yeah.
It's a long few months ahead with no football.
This is one of my favorite times of the year. Because without football, now you got the armchair GMs get to kind of take their role. They can kind of watch the combine and the college football coverage and do the whole draft thing. Because I actually pay attention to it. I'm not one of those people that just drop a whole big board and all that. I'm not one of those guys, but I do pay attention to it. Like, this guy may end up going this place and so on and so forth. Like, watching the teams get built. That's what happens this time of year. That's what's fun to me. I like just watching to see what these guys do to build a team, so what they think may work for the next year. You know what I mean? That's the fun part.
And then, we got basketball. Still, both college and pros. Lately, I haven't been into any of the basketball. Like, it's just not grabbing my attention.
I'll be honest with you, I just keep up with my team during the season.
Right.
It doesn't feel the same as what it did growing up. Not even just growing up. Maybe if you to go back maybe 6 or 7 years ago, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
That last something before LeBron left, the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
They had that whole
back in the bubble of the pandemic. Yep.
Basketball was more intense at that particular time. When you watched it, it was like, oh man, it was actually more must-see TV versus what it is now to me.
Yeah, because it just seems like people are just skating on a roster now and just collecting checks, and
they play the game.
Then they just turn up things at, I guess, after the All-Star game to kind of push for the playoffs.
So for me, seeing the later part of the season and going into playoff time, that's when it gets more interesting because you see guys actually play serious, hardcore basketball at the time, but not like you can see a lot of guys when you watch them now. I might age myself, and my stuff make me sound old, but you watch some guys now, and it's more of a highlight thing than it is actually. So you see guys that try to go for the whole crossover step back, trying to make that guy fall and get a highlight off of that, or trying to dunk on somebody versus
playing
the winning play. You know what I mean? Like, it's
the Sports Center top 10. is what they're going for.
All threes now. When it's not everybody should be shooting threes, but that's another conversation.
Like,
the
last 4 years of people shooting threes has gotten insane. Like, absolutely insane.
I understand the fact that if you're gonna shoot a 2-pointer, some people have that logic where if you shoot a 2-pointer, a long two, just take a couple steps back and shoot a three. I get that, but take the shot that's there.
That's what I miss.
I don't want to start talking X's and O's when it comes to basketball. That's just philosophy, I guess.
Because
it doesn't feel
get
the
down
same
into
as
the
when you
brass
watch
tacks of it.
Yeah, because I mean, okay, here's really what a big gripe is. What I have with the NBA game right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad to see football season over with.
I agree.
Yeah, I am kind of sad to see it go because I love football. I love sports in general. So I normally have basketball and the NBA stuff going on, but I still love football more. I always look forward to September and October, and the fall months because I know that football is going to return. But we do have a long ways to go as the football season has just ended. But I hope we have some better luck next year.
Right.
But honestly, we go through this every year. But honestly, I think every year it gets harder. For the fans, I have to wait that long.
Yeah.
So I hope they make the season a little bit longer. One of these days, because I want to see a longer season.
That would be interesting to see a longer football season.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Longer than 17 weeks.
It's
17, 18 weeks.
It's 18 weeks overall, but it's 17 games. So yeah.
To take it up to what, maybe probably looking at 23 weeks?
23, 24.
Consider what that'll do to the players too. So
Shit.
That's what it's doing.
This is the question I have right now with the length of the NBA season. Has it taken a toll on the players to the point that they don't turn it up until April?
I can't say that. That NBA season is no different than what it's always been. 82 games regular season. You go into the playoffs. You got to the first team to win 16 games in the playoffs is the team that So,
I don't know. I remember them shorter seasons when it was like 70 something.
It's always been 82. That's why you look at a lot of the older guys. They complain about the whole load management conversation.
Yeah,
because guys like Michael Jordan or that era, they're like they came to play every night.
Right.
And they feel like and Kobe Bryant even said the same thing. Like, if you go to a city and it's a fan of yours that's there in that city, wait to see you play in person for however long it takes them to come to be able to get the opportunity to see you.
Right.
And you decide, I'm taking the night off. Just that one time.
Yeah. It's been a lot of that lately.
Yeah. So that load management wasn't a thing then, but it is now. So that's what.
All right. What's been surprising to me too, the trade deadline, and who moved where,
who didn't move,
and who didn't move. I was like, wait, what? Hold on. James Harden in Cleveland.
Do you think we're going to have a lot of trade? Do you think we're going to have a lot of trade this go around on the trade deadline here?
Absolutely. It just passed, last week.
What I saw was people going places that I would never thought they were going. And the biggest surprise to me was James Harden being in Cleveland. I'm like, you went to where LeBron was? Come on, man.
I mean, I think he's on that quest for that ring. And
now
he's trying to find the best opportunity and the best space to get to
that. That's what I thought about. And I was like, looking at Cleveland squad.
And
they could
also,
make something happen.
Did he request specifically to go to Cleveland, or is that just
rumors was that he did specifically ask to go to Cleveland?
Can I ask why?
That's just allegations. There was no confirmation of that. So that's why I was like, huh? You went to Cleveland?
Oh, well, I didn't know. I didn't know if you. I didn't know if you guys knew the reason why he went to Cleveland or not. That's why I asked.
I'm not sure. I wasn't sure. The biggest surprise to me was after it's all said and done, the Anthony Davis trade. Anthony Davis got traded yet again.
Yeah. And since his injury, man, it's just been I've been questioning a lot of things since
So the GM from the Mavericks who traded for him in the first place last year got fired earlier this year because of that.
See, I didn't even know that, man.
Yeah. I think Nico Harrison, I think his name was. He got fired for trading Luka for AD. If you look at it, if you don't take AD's injury history into account, if he wasn't so injury prone, the trade might have looked a little better. I'd say it would have been even. Because Luka's one of those generational guys. AD is he was built as a generational guy, but because of those injuries, it's kind of falling down now, by the wayside now. Is it too late? No.
Nah.
He's in Washington, your squad.
Right.
So he might do some things there next year because I think they shut him down for the year 11.
He gotta heal up, man. He gotta get his bearings back. Cause the way Washington runs, them younger guys like to run up and down that court like crazy.
Maybe a different team next year when he comes back and then Trae Young comes back and with those younger guys, it might look a little different. I don't know. They may change the way they play ball.
Because I anticipate they're going to switch up the whole roster on the off season. Because I think they're going to hit this draft this year. Because it's a lot of college talent that's coming out in this draft that would be worthwhile adding to the Wizards roster.
I was kind of speak to that effect a little while ago. I enjoy watching mainly tournament time, but the college game a little more right now because it's and even more specifically, women's basketball is
man,
taking away right now.
They are on fire, man. Women's basketball.
It's like you don't see people just flopping and all other stuff. They play ball. I enjoy to watch.
Both the WNBA and the college, man, they are playing. Like WNBA is on fire, man. And I'm just hoping that the fandom continues to grow like it has over the last 2-3 years for the WNBA.
Yeah, that Caitlin Clark effect and Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese.
When does that season start, Tyron? When does that season start?
Right after.
Yeah, right after NBA in June?
Toward the end of the season.
Early May, June, they come back?
Yeah. Heading into the summer is when it starts.
That'd be interesting. I'll be watching that one too. I'll be watching that one.
I'm looking at these NBA transactions, man, this week. I'm just like, wait a minute. Most of the guys are like pretty much either getting waived or they're re-signing.
I mean, some guys, it's a business. You hear that a lot. Some guys get traded to a situation where the team just traded for them because that contract, they're able to cut that contract and it not hurt them on their salary cap so much,
Right.
So it's something small like that.
Yeah.
Cause Chris Paul to the Raptors, man.
You gotta roll. Yeah, even though Raptors are
LA. I was like, wait, huh?
Jordan squad, but so did you hear about the Chris Paul situation in LA? Why they did that?
Yeah.
I heard about that. Can you?
Coaches.
I heard about that. Can you explain it? Can you explain this?
Yeah. So anybody, if you ever watched Chris Paul play the game, he's like one of those floor general, coach on the floor type guys. Like, he's out there. He's all business. Like he's gonna run. If you give him a play to run, he's going to run that play the way it's supposed to be run. Ty Lue, the way they were, to my understanding, from the articles that I've read, when they were in practice, Ty Lue gave them a certain way to run their offense, and it was more of a loose, free-flowing, similar to what they do in street ball. They were like improvising pretty much for the most part.
Right.
Chris Paul would come down and try to run a play, and he would want them to work on plays so they could have stuff to run during the game. Ty Lue would say, no, this is what we're doing. Just chill out and just do what I'm telling you to do. So from that aspect, they just been bumping heads. To the point it got to a head where they weren't speaking to each other. It was becoming awkward in team meetings, so on and so forth, to what I read. So either they're gonna move on from your late 30 some odd year old point guard, or you're gonna move on from your head coach.
Right.
They chose to move on from the point guard. So logic, I understand it, but he got a raw deal there because he's still one of the better point guards to ever play the game.
Absolutely.
One of them. I ain't gonna say the best, but he's one of the better point guards to ever play the game. But Toronto may be a good spot for him for now. I think this is his last year.
Yeah.
He wanted to finish in LA.
So you think this is the last year for him?
I think he mentioned, he kind of alluded to the fact before the season he wanted to kind of finish up his career in LA because you remember he had all those good years there with the whole Lob City squad with him, Blake Griffin, and all those guys before they broke that up and he went to Houston.
Right.
So I think this is his last hurrah is to go back to LA with another decent squad that they had there and see if they can make something happen, but it didn't work out. So,
man,
his kids are getting older. He wants to be there for his kids. He did kind of allude to that fact as well. Which
I seen what he said. But I didn't realize that this was the final season.
It'd be sad to see him go, but
I don't think he's gonna. I hate the fact that he never got that. He had an opportunity, a couple opportunities, but he never got that ring.
Right.
Yeah, missing out on that ring, it make you kind of, I'll say, bitter.
Can you ever see? I know you said that this would be the final season, but do you think that you ever see him coming back in the future, like some people come back for the last hurrah? So I don't know if they come back in the future, do it again.
They may be able to convince him. They may be able to convince him. Do I think he will? No. Is it outside the realm of possibility? No. I think he could come back.
Yeah.
Man, oh my gosh. What in the world? Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis is gutting that team right now, too.
What in the world?
All they got left is John Morant.
Like,
they got rid of bro.
I'm like,
star players.
Good God, man.
They almost traded him, to my understanding. They were shopping him around at one point, too.
They just got Kyle Anderson. They got Georges, Taylor Hendrickson. Taylor Hendricks, and Walter Clayton Jr. I was like, wait, what? Utah. What in the world, Utah? They're like, this is wild. I don't think I've seen this many people move from one franchise all at once in a long time, man. Like,
Yeah, mid-season is rare.
like mid-season, like no, man. Like, what? What is going on? And like, you know, I used to blame it on the whole, yeah, we're gonna build the big three, the big, you know, the dynamic duo franchise ran teams. And
That's another reason the NBA. I think for me, that's another reason the NBA kind of started the super teams. They got it was cool at first, but now it's starting to get to the point where, all right, man,
look, man, y'all doing too much.
Like this one team has like 5 superstars on it, and everybody else is
yeah. And I, you know, the last roster seemed like that with a depth of 7. The, you know, looking at Golden State, looking at OKC.
I can't get mad at either one of them because most of those built their teams organically.
You know,
like all the guys that were there were drafted there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they went out and we can cut everybody on the team and spend max money on these 3-4 guys, and they would just fill up the rest of the team with whoever. And
it is what it is on that.
It works for them, but yeah.
It's been wild, man. I'll keep an eye on things as the playoffs come, but before the playoffs, nah. I that's all I want to see is who make it to the playoffs. I watch a few games.
My team, what's going on with them? The scores come to my game, my phone every time they play a game. It's my team, and then close to the end of the season, I start looking at everything, and now I start to really dive in there. But right now, even All-Star Weekend doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, the All-Star game. I feel more drawn to the 3-point shootout, the dunk contest, than the actual All-Star game itself. And
the dunk contest,
the dunk contest ain't what it used to be. You know? And it's like, where is the real NBA?
The dunk contest started to fade when all the superstars declined to be in it.
Why is that? Like,
so you start to get, it's a lot of guys there now. It's like,
who was that? Where they came
man, no
from?
disrespect, but it's not like the marquee names that you would want to see.
Yeah,
that everybody looks forward to seeing when you go to a game.
Not there.
Yeah, I'm here.
You don't know until we get to the actual dunk contest and hope that they can put on a show.
Yeah. Super Bowl halftime.
I was waiting on that to come up.
Was, for me, very entertaining.
Me too.
I love seeing Latin culture. I grew up, my godmother is from the Dominican Republic, and I've been in love with Latin culture as a child. Like the music, everything, the food, all of it. And even though I couldn't understand a darn thing, I could feel it and just like absorb every bit of it. And you know, the backlash that these folks was giving out, all the way from Jake Paul and the foolishness he had to say about Bad Money, to these people in Congress talking about they going to investigate him.
Ignorance.
And I'm just like, why can't we just be entertained? Why does it have to appeal to the masses for you to feel like it has entertainment value?
Everything's either political or racial now, man.
And, you know, to understand that Bad Bunny wanted to tell a story, man. Just like Kendrick Lamar told a story last year.
They didn't like his either.
And I'm like, so what is the issue? Like, because I also looked at the Turning Point halftime performance.
You able to watch the whole thing?
Like a day or two later, I watched the whole thing on YouTube, and it was nothing but a country music show.
I was, to be honest with you, I was quite a bit disappointed with the other halftime performance. I was quite a bit. I was happy with the main one, but I wasn't happy with the other one that we were talking about. Yeah, I watched both of them, so yeah, it was pretty crazy in my opinion.
I watched bits and pieces, and it was.
Yeah.
Once I saw what it was and what they were going for, I was like, yeah, it's clear.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
You know, it was to me, it was just a matter of them trying to get people on stage to draw attention away from the NFL because the NFL decided to do something more progressive than traditional.
It's a little too ethnic for them. Yeah.
And my thing is like, you can't take 30 minutes out of your day to acknowledge somebody else's culture, then we got a bigger problem in this country than they're actually leading on, you know?
We got a big problem, and we don't. We got a big problem in this country. People just don't want to realize it.
I agree.
You know, and the fact that Bad Bunny was out here calling out the issues that they were having in Puerto Rico with their power grid, and for it to be a U.S. territory and the U.S. mainland not care to give them their resources that they need.
No, they are American.
That part is, why are you treating Americans this way because they don't speak English primarily? Then if that is the issue, release them. Let them become a sovereign nation again. But you don't want to do that because they have resources that you like to take. Like sugarcane. Hence why Bad Bunny put it in there to call out the whole sugarcane plantation history.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nod to all those people that work hard doing that.
They work hard, man. Like the contribution that they provide to banana industry, to coconut industry, is huge. But y'all like, oh, well, they speak Spanish. We don't care. They should speak English. We're like, they do speak English. It's just not their main language.
When it came to the Super Bowl, Bad Bunny's performance, like a lot of other people, I caught maybe one or two words, so I didn't quite comprehend what he was saying.
Right.
One thing I loved about it, and hopefully this doesn't come off the wrong way when I say it, our Latin brothers and sisters, when you watch them, they are some of the dancingest people. When you see them having a good time, they get to it, bro. And just watching them dance and help, I enjoyed just watching that part, if nothing else.
Look,
and seeing the fact that they were enjoying what was going on. You know what I mean?
Right. When they got to that wedding part, around with Lady Gaga, man, I was like, yo, it almost brought a tear to my eye because I see how happy and how proud the people were to display their culture and display how they like to celebrate life.
Yeah.
And it be
I hope they have him back next year again. Hope they do.
it would be nice, you know. Hey, come back and do pregame show. Kick off the game, man. And speaking of pregame show, like
biggest artist in the world right now. Give him his respect. He deserves it.
you know, when you bring up him being the biggest artist, man, him having the top total of views for a halftime show since Apple Music took over, major.
Can I ask a quick question? Anybody can answer.
Mhm.
Do you know when Apple took it over? When Apple took the when Apple took the halftime over? When did they start that?
I knew that, and I just forgot.
Okay, 'cause I forgot that when it was. So I didn't. I forgot when it was, so I had to. So let me ask you.
I want to say it was 2021 or something like that, maybe. Maybe before
I
that.
thought it was 2019, but I could be wrong.
It might be
Apple
2019.
Music, so Apple Music officially took over as a sponsor of the Super Bowl halftime show, starting with Super Bowl. Was that 2 years ago? 57. I'm sorry. February 12th, 2023.
Yeah. Wow. That hadn't been that long.
February 12th, 2023.
That hasn't been that long,
Replacing
man.
Pepsi, which had the sponsorship for the previous 10 years.
So the last 4 Super Bowls, Rihanna, Usher, Kendrick Lamar, Bad Bunny, under Apple Music. And I saw a post where they had looked at the graph from, I think it was like, it had U2 and all them on there up to Bad Bunny. The numbers go sky high when we get on the Apple Music side of it with Rihanna, then Usher, then Kendrick, and then Bad Bunny. And it's just like, wow, they have to be doing something right for the viewership to go up, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that those American people that are anti-culture, anti-wokeness will get over themselves, but it's obvious they can't. They can't, because I honestly, and this is how I feel about it, I think because of our political divisions in this country and people capitalizing off that we're going to have this back and forth. I saw a post this evening that people were saying, well, let's get Fred Hammond and some gospel artists up
I
there
saw that.
to do the halftime show. I'm like, I'm here for it. Shoot, bring Kirk Franklin and everybody up there. We're
I
gonna
want to see that.
doing halftime. You know, I
I
will
want to
see
see
that.
that. Yeah, I want to see that too.
I will watch that. You know,
I will too.
you
Just
know,
like
bring
I
that
watched
mother-
the Super Bowl. I mean, I watched the Super halftime show. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, let's celebrate all the layers that make up the fabric of America.
At least what's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's a melting pot
That's
that
supposed to be.
created this.
Correct.
To what it made America great. And then for y'all to just be like, well, no, these things are the only things that made America great. American Pie, rock and roll, and Jesus.
Conversation. It depends on who you are and how you grew up. I'm calling a spade, the America for us versus America. Us being people who look like us versus those that are in power, I guess, for lack of a better term. Our America and their America, they're the same place, but they're not the same. You know what I mean? So I think it's how you grew up, and it's really just the way you grew up. I mean, America. What made America great for me or anybody else versus what made America great for here? Two different things, man.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. And I think that's what at the end of Bad Bunny's show, he was trying to spread this message of love, unity. And it doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter. We can all respect each other and come together and celebrate. And put away this division of, whatever we want to drum up. And it's just for me, it was so beautiful to see that when they ran towards the camera at the end with all the flags, and he was talking and shouting out all the countries that make up the Americas.
Yeah.
Canada, North America, South America, Central America. Mexico.
Salvador. He was.
He was rattling them off.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm with you, buddy. We're together better than we are separate.
Yeah.
He ended it by saying Puerto Rico. He said he said it in Spanish, but I watched what a person said was the interpretation of what is. I didn't fact check it, so I don't know. But she said what he said. I forget the statement he used, but it means we're still here.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we're better together and we're stronger together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just like, as we continue to pray for this nation and the people, this world, man, it's going to get better.
As I continue to pray for everybody, I pray for everybody every day. Mm-hmm.
It has to get better.
Yeah.
Because it's God's world.
Yes.
Of course, there are going to be some bad things to happen. As unfortunate as a father unaliving his daughter because of their political differences.
Right.
Or someone kidnapping a beloved family member. Like, it's going to be okay because God still is on the throne and he still has the final say on everything.
Yes.
And including how these people are being exposed.
Amen to that.
The evils and egregious things that they're doing.
That's what gives me peace. Knowing at the end of the day, they will have to answer for what they.
Yes. And it's also nice to meet you as well. Yeah, it's also nice to meet you. Mm-hmm. It's nice to meet you.
Kenny and Dustin, man, I appreciate y'all coming on tonight. It has been
Nice to meet you, Kenny.
eventful evening for sure.
Yeah.
I just hope I didn't talk too much.
No, man, like this is what it's about on here. Like we go have some real conversation. And it may seem like we go long-winded on the subject matter, but hey, it's a conversation.
Yes.
It's organic. It builds. It continues to grow as the community continues to grow. And
Nice to meet you, Kenny. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, bro. Likewise.
Thank you for being
everyone
here.
that came through, come back next week. It's
Yes,
going to
come
be a
back.
whole nother conversation.
Yep.
And it's worthwhile because our world is continuing to change every day, every week.
Yes.
And there's more to talk about.
Always.
You guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Mr. TD McCollum. You guys go ahead and drop what your social media is.
My social media is Dustin Butler. My Facebook is Dustin Butler. My Instagram is Dustin Butler 7100. And I always want to thank my whole entire team for being here. Everybody here tonight. Thank you for being here. Love you all very much. Thank you, Tyrone. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Nice to meet you again, Kenny. I hope we get to talk. Hope we can talk soon again.
Kenny, how they can follow you?
I go by Kenny B 1223 on pretty much everything. If you also may see DJ Kenny B 1223 as well. So I do double as a DJ and as a gigging musician. So that's a separate page for my DJ business as well.
And how often do you DJ?
I mainly on gigs right now. I'm looking for a place where I can actually do it consistently.
Okay.
Maybe have a little.
I did because I wanted to go support you if I could. That's how I want to ask you. I want to go support you.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. I will reach out whenever that time comes. I'll reach out and let you know.
Yeah, send me the link so I can go follow you wherever you're at. How's that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Speaking of links, you can hit me up on all the music streaming platforms. I got 3 singles out right now. You got Groove With Me, Draco Love, and Get Lifted that is out. And then I also composed an original composition for the South Carolina State University Marching 101 band. Shout out to them who performed this weekend in San Francisco for BET. And they graced the people with my composition as they marched through the Macy's of San Francisco. And I was like, what? Wow. That's so cool, man.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. They get performances, you be like, man, y'all did what?
You did what?
Yeah. Huh?
I love it, man. As always, you can come here Wednesday nights at 8:30. Either I'm going to be creating some new music or we're going to be having a conversation here, man. We can come together and really talk about what's happening out here in the world. And on Saturdays, every Saturday morning, faithfully, me, my wife, my brother, we're here. We're called Faithful Warrior Ministries.
Yeah.
Meet us here at 10 a.m. ish because, we might be a little late because it's early in the morning, but we come in. And when we come here, we got a devotional that we're going to read. We're going to pray. And you're going to love the conversation that we're going to have. And that's what we do, man. We come together, man.
Yeah.
Hit me up on the Cash App, Mr. TD McCollum. If you want to help bring this platform even bigger. And if you want to send me something to conversate about, you can hit me up, Mr. TD McCollum at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Appreciate everyone coming through in the comments. Miss Kim, I think I saw a couple others that I didn't get a chance to. Lady Virgo, I see you, baby.
Thanks for being here, Lady Virgo.
Thank you. She said, hey to Aaron D. And it was great to see Aaron, J Star Bragg, Miss Kim, and all the people that are JoJo Speaks, Dustin Butler, and the replay crew. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, I'll be here next week. Same time, same place, same beautiful faces.
Absolutely. We'll
Yes.
see y'all next week. Bye for now.
Bye for now. See y'all next week. Thank you, Tyrone. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate you being here.
Yep.